I'm really pleased to be here at the conference, and I'm particularly pleased that this is also going to be is available as we speak to people who are joining us via technology. One of the early discussions we had about this conference was being very excited by the fact that it's not just a conference at a point in time. It is one event on a continuum of learning and exchanging and understanding what others in the field are doing so that we can all get better at our work. We're just thrilled to partner with Making Sense International. They've been a partner for years, and we've been grateful for their knowledge and expertise in helping us to move along a journey of what really works in this field and to introduce us to many of those of you in the audience. And in fact, the work of our City Foundation is in many ways congruent with Making Sense International. Our mission is centered around financial access and financial inclusion and economic empowerment of lower income people in the places where we work around the world, almost 100 of them. And obviously a key subcomponent of those people is youth. And we're very focused on this broader theme of economic progress. And so last year we deployed about $20 million in 54 countries around the world in various activities that deal with this issue of youth economic success. And we've been privileged to work with a number of you in the audience and others that really are focused on this issue of bringing young people into the economic mainstream. We're very focused on impact and trying to understand the impact with our partners. We've historically had a lot of our focus on educational attainment because that obviously is a very important ingredient to economic success. But as we stepped back to examine our work, we realized that it's not enough to have a good education, that it's got to lead to a meaningful opportunity to have economic success for people and for their families and for their communities. And we know the stark fact is that young people are unemployed in shocking numbers around the world. And I don't need to share those numbers with those of you here in the audience. I think the formal numbers that are talked about for the Middle East and North Africa, for example, are the ones I've seen are 28%. And I'm sure given the events of the last year, any recent numbers would be more shocking and more depressing than that number. And we also know that the impact of youth unemployment is not just expressed in these people not being able to achieve their dreams, but also very much in the economic success of those communities and those countries. And you have only to read about what's happening right now to people all across Egypt to understand that this is just a terrible, terrible situation for young people. But we can do better. There's one way to look at this as a depressing challenge, and there's another way to look at this as an incredible opportunity to bring these people into the mainstream and make a difference in these communities and countries. So I think we definitely need to move from viewing this as a horrendous problem to a tremendous opportunity that we need to take advantage of. And imagine if we can bring these people into labor markets, what's going to happen to the economies of these countries. And so all of this has prompted us to rethink how we're focusing our resources and our time. And we've newly defined our area as moving to something we call youth economic outcomes, so that we are much more broadly thinking about what's the key issue here. And it builds upon the belief that, yes, education is important. It is a vitally important component, but it's not enough. And that we really have to focus on the bigger goal, which is to increase the number of young people who either establish a livelihood, they secure a living wage, they get a job, a quality job, or they launch an income-generating business. One of the authors in the Innovations Journal, which I'll refer to in a minute, talks about making young people not just job seekers, but job creators. We're going to continue to invest in catalytic and ideas and solutions that achieve this goal. And obviously, we look to many of you in the audience to be our partner and to help us on their journey. With more than 200 years of work around the world as a financier of progress, we want to also view ourselves as a financier of progress, not just with big companies, but also with the people in these communities around the world. Today, in partnership with George Mason University and Making Sense International, we are pleased to launch the copy of the special edition of the Innovations Journal, which you should have in your special little packet. It's a collaboration to bring together some really interesting summaries of work that is just terrific being done around the world. And it highlights initiatives of organizations, what they are doing and what they are achieving and accomplishing. And I love the fact that it is so varied. One of the initial essays in there is from a young farmer in Uganda who talks about how he moved from the subsistence farming of his father into truly making it into an entrepreneurial business that really provides an ongoing fantastic opportunity for him. So there are lots of articles about spurring entrepreneurship, about a better link between education and training and jobs, building a pipeline of skilled talent for specific opportunities, and understanding the lessons of financial education. I think these are really, I will tell you, I really think they're interesting. It looks like a scholarly journal, but I think you'll love it. It is in hard copy, so for those of you who are only digitally oriented, I'm sure there will be some opportunity for you to connect via your laptop, but they're really worth spending time on. And the objective was not to summarize the whole world, but to give you a sense of the variety of approaches so that we can help build this agenda. So I think during this period where we have reflected on what we do and what we accomplish, I think we've been impressed by many of the programs launched by your organizations as well as our peer grant-making organizations with whom we often collaborate. And I'd like to thank all of you in the room personally for your work. I'd like to thank Making Sense International. They've been a great partner for us. And I think your efforts are seeding the kind of new work and the innovations and the pushing the frontier so that we can truly make a difference on this incredible global challenge. So I thank you very much for this opportunity, and I look forward to hearing from all of you later today. Thank you.